How's it going on? It is your boy, it is Jason, and it is Monday here in this beautiful South Korea. So today, we're going to talk about an ebook that I'm working on called The 5-Story Building Passport Bros Korea. Now, why am I writing this book? Main reason is because after watching that Dr. Umar interview and then making my response video about it, I'm writing this book, The 5-Story Building Passport Bros Korea. I'm focusing on Korea as my main talking points, but I do believe this can be used anywhere else overseas around the world. Now, why is it called a 5-story building? Well, originally the idea comes from Dr. Claude Anderson, who wrote the book Powernomics. This is a brilliant man. He even came up with the idea for building self-sufficient communities. So I decided to take his 5-story building philosophy or whatever, and then tailor it for South Korea. And this could be used in Thailand, Philippines, Colombia, wherever Black Americans want to go. Now you're probably wondering, why am I focused on Black Americans? Because in the book, I'm going to talk about especially when we start off with first economics, the Black Americans who we need to really be getting on board are those of us who are veterans, who separated from the military or who retired from the military, because that group of men have income coming in USD. And for those of us who live overseas, we understand that to be paid in USD and living in some of these other countries, your money goes further. So I'm focusing on Black American men because I understand Black American men, because I'm a Black American man. I can't speak to the Ghanaians, I can't speak to Nigerians, I can't speak to Kenyan men because I'm not from their communities. I'm not part of their culture. I am from Black American culture, so I'm going to speak to those men. Now, does that necessarily mean that men from from the rest of the African diaspora, or even some brothers from the Spanish and the white European European origin, they could take notes from this too? This book will be like a tool. I have spent 10 years in South Korea. Those first 10 years, of course, I was Sergeant Holmes. I was in the United States Air Force. Did a short stint as a contractor, and I'm still here in South Korea. And I do firmly believe, since we want to live overseas, we need to stop just being the fun Black guys. We need to stop being the swag Black guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is very embarrassing when you see a group of our Black brothers over here who are cool, who are swagged out, but the moment they get a girl pregnant, they dip, right? The moment they come into financial harm or financial struggles, they don't know how to make money. We need to grow up. We need to elevate. But I understand why it's probably difficult, because we don't really have too much of a guidance to help us move in the direction that I'm talking about. So this book that I am going to write will help give us that guidance, where we can still be those cool, swagged out dudes, but we ain't worrying about nothing, because we have infrastructure in place, we have good financials coming in, we have businesses, we have education, we have media, all in there. The book, I'm gonna release it. I'm using Gumroad to publish my book on, and I'm gonna release the book on December 11th. You can pre-order the book if you want. Right now, you can pre-order it, and then on December 11th, I'm going to release it for everyone to be able to read it. Now, in the meantime, if you want to social support, please pre-order it, share it, let everyone else know, hey, this is what's coming out, Passport Bros. This book is gonna, I'm gonna try to, because it's a lot, right? And I actually been working on this for probably like a little over a year now, just this ideal in general. But I kept getting hung up on it because it's so big. And then the reason I was like, well, let me niche it down. Let me focus it on a small group first, and then doing that will then allow it to be easier to scale it up. So then I said, boom, let's do Passport Bros Korea.